everyone and students. Hope you are all doing well. In this session, I wish to chapter perfect gas laws briefly, which are very important for your examinations. We are all know matter exists in three states, namely solid, liquid, and gas. Solids, liquids, and gases are generally made up of a number of particles, popularly known as atoms or molecules. And the behavior of these atoms or molecules decides whether the matter is a solid or a liquid or a gas. In general, solids are characterized by defined shape and size. The atoms or molecules of solid are tightly connected by chemical bonds. So that's why solids are very rigid in nature. The various examples of solids are wood, brick, iron, sand, aluminium, brass. And then liquids are characterized by definite volume but do not have a definite shape. The atoms or molecules of liquid are free to flow and closely connected by intermolecular bonds. So liquids are somewhat weaker than solids. The examples are water, milk, petrol, diesel, blood, and etc. And before going to defining a gas, there is a medium phase known as vapor. So a vapor is defined as a state of substance whose evaporation from its liquid state is not completed. So remember this definition. So liquid ni manam heat చేసినప్పుడు gas కింద convert అవుతుంది. And before converting into gas, there exists a medium phase. Evaporation complete గా కాక ముందు ఉన్న phase ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే vapor కింద define చేస్తాము. And the vapors what generally come across in our thermal engineering are water vapor or steam and then ammonia vapor. And now we are defining what is a gas. Gas is a state of matter consisting of atoms or molecules which are scattered. So that means gas lo unde molecules anni direction lo free ga move avutu untayi. And that's why gases have no definite shape or volume. And in thermal engineering, a gas is defined as a state of substance whose evaporation from its liquid state is completed. So that is a technical definition. Liquid nunchi dani yoka evaporation complete aithe danni manam gas kinde define chestamu. And therefore, for a gas, there exists two properties. One is the molecules of gas must occupy some volume, and the second one is there exists a force of attraction between the molecules. So ee rendu first one ఏంటంటే గ్యాస్ యొక్క మాలిక్యూల్స్ కంపల్సరీగా కొంత వాల్యూమ్ ఆక్యుపై చేయాలి, అలాగే గ్యాస్ లో ఉండే మాలిక్యూల్స్ మధ్య ఫోర్స్ ఆఫ్ అట్రాక్షన్ కూడా ఉండాలి. ఈ రెండు ఉంటే గనక వాటిని మనం రియల్ గ్యాస్ ఆర్ ద గ్యాస్ which is existing for all practical purposes. And the various examples of gases are oxygen, nitrogen, helium, hydrogen, argon, and chlorine. Now coming to our topic, what is a perfect gas? What the difference between a real gas, which is a practical, and then a perfect gas? So a perfect gas is defined as a gas whose molecules occupy negligible volume and there exists no force of attraction between the molecules. So once again study the definition carefully. So here for a perfect gas, what are the conditions are? The molecules have negligible volume. Molecules అనేది వాల్యూమ్ ని ఆక్యుపై చేయకూడదు, అలాగే మాలిక్యూల్స్ మధ్య ఫోర్స్ ఆఫ్ అట్రాక్షన్ కూడా ఉండకూడదు. సో ఈ రెండు కనుక ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అయితే దాన్ని మనం పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాస్ ని ట్రీట్ చేస్తాము. సో దట్స్ ద డిఫరెన్స్ బిట్వీన్ a real gas and a perfect gas. But in practical there exists no perfect gas. ఎందుకంటే వాల్యూమ్ ఆక్యుపై చేయకుండా ఫోర్స్ ఆఫ్ అట్రాక్షన్ లేకుండా గ్యాస్ అనేది ఉండదు కాబట్టి పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాస్ అనేది ప్రాక్టికల్ గా ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవ్వదు. అండ్ దెర్ ఈస్ అనదర్ నేమ్ ఫర్ ది పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాస్ which is also known as ideal gas. But in general, for all our practical purposes, hydrogen, helium, superheated steam, and air, these four are treated as perfect gases. So remember this word carefully. They are not exact perfect gases, but they are treated as perfect gases. And one more thing we have to keep in our mind is all real gases behaves like a perfect gas if they fulfill the condition. The pressure must be low and the temperature is high. So low pressures, high temperatures దగ్గర అన్ని రియల్ గ్యాసెస్ కూడా పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాసెస్ లాగే బిహేవ్ చేసేందుకు అవకాశం ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, సో ద నేచర్ ఆఫ్ గ్యాసెస్ అనేవి మనకి కంటికి కనపడవు కాబట్టి సో వాటి యొక్క బిహేవియర్ we cannot predict properly, and hence how the gases are behaved. To know practically, the nature of the gases are described by four physical properties in thermodynamics. What are those four? The first one is pressure, the second one is volume, the third one is temperature, and the fourth one is moles or number of particles present in the given gas. And then another definition given to a perfect gas is a gas which obeys all gas laws at all temperatures and pressures is also known as a perfect gas. So you can write any definition in your examinations as per your convenience, either the first one or the second one. సో అన్ని గ్యాస్ లాస్ ని ఏ గ్యాస్ అయితే కనుక ఒబే చేస్తుందో దాన్ని కూడా మనం పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాస్ కింద ట్రీట్ చేయొచ్చు. సో ఏమేమి లాస్ ని ఒక గ్యాస్ ఒబే చేయాలి జనరల్ గా పర్ఫెక్ట్ గ్యాస్ అనిపించుకోవాలంటే? సో దేర్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్స్ a number of losses, but the familiar and famous laws are: the first one is Boyle's law, the second one is Charles' law, the third one is Gay-Lussac's law, the fourth one is Avogadro's law, and the fifth one is Joule's law, and the sixth one is Regnald's law. So all these are giving some definitions and creates the laws which a gas must be followed as per our subject point of view. And here the notations what we are using is ఇంతకు ముందే మనం చెప్పుకున్నాము, 4 parameters describes the behavior of a gas. The first one is pressure, a small p, the unit is kilonewton per meter square, and the second one is volume denoted by the letter capital V, it's meter cube, and the third one is absolute temperature, it's capital T, and the unit is Kelvin, and fourth one is mass of the gas, m, which is expressed in terms of kgs. Now coming to the first one, what Boyle's law states. Boyle's law volume of gas ki tarvata pressure ki relation explain చేస్తుంది. And the third important parameter temperature అనేది కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు. So a Boyle's law states that the volume of a given mass of an ideal gas is inversely proportional to its absolute pressure at constant absolute temperature. So the mathematical expression is, so volume V is proportional to 1 by P. So 1 by P stands for inversely. So volume of a gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at constant temperature. So note down this expression also. So you write this expression in your examination and just convert into sentence. Volume of a given mass of gas is inversely proportional to its pressure at the constant absolute temperature. So on removing the proportionality, there exists a constant, and on cross multiplication, PV is equals to constant. Is the mathematical expression for Boyle's law. And the two parameters P and V both are represented graphically on vertical axis as pressure and horizontal axis as a volume, and there is a curve relation between these two. So this is a mathematical representation of a Boyle's law, popularly known as PV diagram, pressure volume diagram. Here the pressure is taken on vertical axis and volume is taken on horizontal axis. So initially the gas is at point 1, the pressure is P1 and the volume is V1, and it comes down to point 2 by keeping the temperature as a constant, and at point 2 the pressure is P2 and volume is V2, and the Boyle's law states that at a given point PV is equal to constant. Therefore at point 1 P1 V1 is equal to constant, at point 2 P2 V2 is equal to constant. Both are constant, therefore P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, and if there exists a third point also, then this may be also equals to P3 V3. Now coming to the second law, Charles law, and in this law the relation is between volume and temperature, and the third parameter is pressure, that is constant. So the relation is directly proportional. Now coming to the statement, Charles law states that the volume of a given mass of a perfect gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature at constant absolute pressure. That's enough. A simple definition. You can easily remember this one also. So mathematically, V is proportional to T. Volume is proportional to temperature at P is equal to constant. Pressure is equal to constant. So on removing the proportionality, V by T is equal to constant, and on VT diagram you have a straight line from 1 to 2, and at point 1 in the same explanation V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2, and at point 2 this is V2 T2, and therefore on combining V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2, it also implies V1 by V2 is equal to T1 by T2. So this is your Charles law. And then coming to the third one, Gay-Lussac's law. So here the relation of a gas between pressure and the temperature is given, and the third parameter is volume as constant. So what the statement? This is also very simple. Gay-Lussac's law states that the absolute pressure of a given mass of a perfect gas is directly proportional to its absolute temperature at constant volume. So mathematical expression is P is proportional to T at V is equal to constant. And removing the proportionality, P by T is equal to constant. And this is the representation of Gay-Lussac's law graphically. P is on vertical axis, T is on horizontal axis. Point 1 P1 T1, point 2 P2 T2. Applying the Gay-Lussac's law for the 2 points, for the 2 states, P1 by T1 is equal to P2 by T2, or P1 by P2 is equal to T1 by T2. So these three are very much basic and fundamental laws in perfect gases which are applicable. And one more thing I want to specify here is directly proportional means one parameter rises, the other parameter also rises. P పెరిగింది అంటే గనక టెంపరేచర్ కూడా పెరుగుతుంది, P తగ్గింది అంటే గనక టెంపరేచర్ కూడా తగ్గుతుంది. And once again dear boys, keep in your mind the third parameter must be constant. వాల్యూమ్ కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మాత్రమే ప్రెషర్ పెంచితే టెంపరేచర్ కూడా పెరుగుతుంది, ప్రెషర్ తగ్గితే టెంపరేచర్ కూడా తగ్గుతుంది. అలాగే ఇన్వర్స్లీ ప్రపోర్షనల్ అంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటంటే మనకి ఒక పారామీటర్ పెరిగితే కనుక మరొక పారామీటర్ తగ్గుతుంది. సో టేక్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ ఎ బాయిల్స్ లా. where there exists an inversal relationship, pressure rises and volume decreases, and pressure decreases, volume rises. That is inversely proportional, right? I think you understood these three laws carefully and by heart these statements and the mathematical expressions and the graphical representations also. Now coming to the next move, Avogadro's law. So Avogadro's law gives the relation between volume and number of molecules. So the number of molecules are also known as a mole. And what the Boyle's law states that, what the Avogadro's law states that equal volumes of all perfect gases at the same temperature and pressure contain equal number of molecules. Very simple. This is also perfect gases ganaka మనం తీసుకుంటే number of perfect gases ప్రతిదీ కూడా ఒకే వాల్యూమ్ లో ఉంటే అన్ని gases లో కూడా molecules కూడా సమానంగా ఉంటాయి. So V by N is equal to constant. Volume by number of molecules or moles. So ఎన్ని molecules ఉంటాయి gases లో according to Avogadro's law, and then what are the conditions of pressure and temperature and how much volume it occupies. That is our second paragraph. Let's see. According to Boyle's law, 1 mole of any perfect gas occupies, the volume is 22.4 meter cube and contains 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules, and the condition is NTP, normal temperature and pressure conditions. I will explain later what is NTP. Now remember, the volume is 22.4 meter cube and the number of molecules are 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23 for a mole of gas. And this number is perfectly given another name, that is called as Avogadro's number, equals to 6.023 into 10 to the power of 23. And we are all known as a gas consists of a molecular weight and mass also, and there exists a relation between mass and molecular weight, and that is given by mass is equals to product of number of moles and its molecular weight. Just we read the term NTP. So NTP stands for normal temperature and pressure conditions, and if NTP condition means, that implies we take it as granted the temperature is 0 degrees centigrade and adding 273, 0 plus 273, so 273 Kelvin, and the pressure is our atmospheric pressure 760 mm of Hg or 1.01325 bar. And the second atmospheric condition exists is STP, that is standard temperature and pressure. Here the temperature is taken as 15 degrees centigrade and plus 273, that implies 288 Kelvin, and the pressure is once again remains the same, atmospheric pressure 1.01325 bar or 760 mm of Hg. And so far what we discussed are Boyle's law, Charles' law, Gay-Lussac's law, and in these three laws there exists a relation between two parameters, keeping the third parameter as constant. Okay, that's you understood what I think at this instant. But if there is no constant for the third parameter, then what the relation between the three important properties of a gas, that is pressure, volume and temperature. So this relation can be established by combining Boyle's law and Charles' law. That means the relation between pressure, temperature and volume of a given gas is expressed by this equation, PV by T is equals to constant. So this gives the relation between pressure, volume and the temperature of the given gas, which implies for applying two states from point 1 to point 2, P1 V1 by T1 is equals to P2 V2 by T2. So this is the first important mathematical expression in perfect gas laws. PV by T is equal to constant, which can be applicable to all gases. So here in the above equation we defined PV by T is equal to constant, and that constant is replaced by a particular term known as characteristic gas constant, and it has a abbreviated notation, that is capital R, and the unit is kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And remember, the constant means the R value is constant only for a particular gas, but it varies from gas to gas. What I mean is, for oxygen we have one R value, and then for hydrogen you have one R value. One means not numerical value, one means it has a separate R value, and helium a separate R value, and carbon dioxide a separate R value. That the meaning of varies from one gas to another gas. And once again, the above equation is conveniently represented in terms of characteristic gas constant, and then such type of equation is known as characteristic gas equation, which is the second important one from our examination point of view. So here, pressure, volume, temperature of perfect gas is connected with the gas constant. Then such type of equation is termed as characteristic gas equation, and the equation is PV is equal to MRT, right? So PV is equal to MRT is known as characteristic gas equation, and is applicable to all gases at all conditions. That means you can use this equation at all conditions. And then, because the R value changes from gas to gas, we define another term, universal gas constant. So universal means throughout the all gases, this is a constant. So for oxygen, for hydrogen, for helium, for argon, for carbon dioxide, for air, whatever it may be, for all, this is a constant throughout all the gases, and that's why it is known as universal gas constant, which is abbreviated by the letter RU. And mathematically it relates the gas constant and its molecular mass. Remember students, molecular mass or molecular weight, both are the same terms or synonyms. So RU is equal to molecular weight multiplied by its gas constant, but the unit is not same here because molecular weight is involved. The unit is kilojoules per kg mole Kelvin, and the RU is universal gas constant is same for all perfect gases and not vary for gas to gas, but whereas our characteristic gas constant or simply gas constant R is constant for a particular gas only, it varies for gas to gas. Because this is a constant throughout the all the gases, the value is also defined. RU is equal to 8.314 kilojoules per kg mole Kelvin. Right? And now we are defining heat. In perfect gases, what we are doing is we are supplying heat to gas so that the gas is heated and it will perform all remaining operations or all remaining thermal applications. Okay. And now specific heat, and what are different types of specific heats we are briefly discussing. The definition is already you are well aware. The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of the gas through 1 degree Celsius. ఒక యూనిట్ మాస్ గ్యాస్ తీసుకొని దాని యొక్క టెంపరేచర్ మనం 1 degree Celsius రేజ్ చేయడానికి ఎంత హీట్ అయితే సప్లై చేస్తామో దాన్ని మనం స్పెసిఫిక్ హీట్ అంటాం. అండ్ ది మ్యాథమెటికల్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఈజ్ mc into T2 minus T1. M is mass, C is specific heat, and T2 minus T1 is change in the temperature, and the unit is kilojoules. And I want to remembering you one thing, students. Here, solids and liquids have only one specific value. But whereas gases can be heated in two ways, by keeping its pressure as constant, by keeping its volume as constant. And that's why gases have two specific heat values. One is specific heat at constant volume Cv, and other one is specific heat at constant pressure Cv. Now we're defining the terms. CV, specific heat constant volume, means the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of gas through 1 degree Celsius by keeping the volume as constant. A simple one, easy to remember. వాల్యూమ్ కాన్స్టెంట్ గా ఉంచి గనక మనం ఒక గ్యాస్ ని 1 డిగ్రీ సెంటిగ్రేడ్ హీట్ చేయగలిగితే అప్పుడు దానికి మనం ఎంతైతే హీట్ ఇస్తామో దాన్ని మనం స్పెసిఫిక్ హీటెడ్ కాన్స్టెంట్ వాల్యూమ్ అంటాం. అండ్ ది మ్యాథమెటికల్ ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఈజ్ mCv into T2 minus T1 kilojoules. And similarly, specific heated constant pressure, the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of gas through 1 degree Celsius by keeping the pressure as constant. Same way, the difference is there you keep the volume constant and here we keep pressure as constant. The unit is kilojoules per kg Kelvin and mathematical expression is mCp into T2 minus T1, where Cp is the specific heated constant pressure. And there exists a relation between gas constant and the two specific heats, and here the difference between specific heated constant pressure and the specific heated constant volume is mathematically expressed R equal to R. So gas constant R is equals to Cp minus Cv, which is another important relation in this topic. But now coming to the fifth law, Joule's law, which states the internal energy of a perfect gas is a function of temperature only. అంటే 3 పారామీటర్స్ మనకి ఇంపార్టెంట్ చెప్పుకున్నాము. ఆ మూడిట్లో ఇంటర్నల్ ఎనర్జీ అన్నది ఓన్లీ టెంపరేచర్ మీదే డిపెండ్ అవుతుంది, ప్రెషర్ మీద కానీ వాల్యూమ్ మీద కానీ డిపెండ్ అవ్వదు. సో ఇంటర్నల్ ఎనర్జీ అంటే కనుక ద ఎనర్జీ అసోసియేటెడ్ ఇన్సైడ్ విత్ బాడీ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఫర్ ఇట్స్ మూవింగ్. ఓకే, సో హియర్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ గా మనం తీసుకుంటే du is proportional to dt. Du means u stands for internal energy, d stands for change కి వాడతాం మనం. du means change in internal energy is proportional to dt means change in temperature. So the mathematical గా మనం ప్రాబ్లమ్ సాల్వ్ చేయాలనుకుంటే కనుక mCv into T2 minus T. And then the final law, Regnolds law. Here Regnolds law gives the relation between the two specific heats, and it states that the two specific heats of a gas, namely specific heated constant volume and specific heated constant pressure, remain constant at all temperatures and pressures for a given gas. ఏదైనా మనం గ్యాస్ తీసుకుంటే కనుక ఆ గ్యాస్ యొక్క టెంపరేచర్ పెరిగినా, టెంపరేచర్ తగ్గినా, ప్రెషర్ పెరిగినా, ప్రెషర్ తగ్గినా కూడా ఈ రెండు స్పెసిఫిక్ హీట్ వాల్యూస్ మాత్రము కాన్స్టెంట్ గానే ఉంటాయి. So that is given by Regnolds. And now he also give the relation between these two mathematically and define another thermodynamic parameter known as adiabatic index. The letter is this is a gamma, Greek letter gamma కి denote చేస్తాం మనం. So adiabatic index is the ratio of specific heated constant pressure and specific heated constant volume. So mathematically, Cp by Cv, the ratio between specific heated constant pressure and the specific heated constant volume, and this ratio is equals to another thermodynamic parameter called as adiabatic index. So these are the topics which we are discussed during this session. So for more details, information about this chapter, refer the textbook Thermal Engineering 1. Post your questions in comments area and I will do my best to clarify your doubts. And that's all for this session. We will continue the same topic in the next video. Thank you.